We're rolling.
We're rolling.
It's live.
Cheers.
Cheers, my lady.
Good, sir.
I'm drinking tea again. You're drinking hot coffee.
Cafe. Yeah, I need it. It was a late night last night, kind of.
You do. You have to have your coffee. There's no getting around it.
Oh, no getting around it.
There's no getting around it. It's got to be really good.
Yeah, but I never started drinking coffee till I met you. You introduced me to the French press, and it was...
The French press?
And the rest is history, man.
I introduced you to the French press? Really?
That's the first time I've ever had a French press.
Wow.
I mean,
Did
I was 24. So.
Did it blow your mind, or was it more the process and less of the taste of it? Or did it taste really good? Because, like, it's a fun process. Like, you boil the water, you grind the beans. It's a full experience, and you kind of take a new appreciation for making coffee in the morning. It's a couple extra steps.
Yeah, it was all of that.
And the taste. Tastes better, but
you had
did you
better
notice?
coffee for sure. And I think it was the experience of drinking the coffee with you, like waking up and having a cup of coffee, which I just didn't really care to do it before.
Now that's completely gone because I don't drink coffee anymore.
Yeah, now it's just me over here like, I need my coffee now. And you're like, God damn it. What have I done?
No, I don't feel that way. But I do. So coffee is this thing that I really love. I know. It tastes good. It smells good. I love to make it. For a long time, I woke up early and I made it for you.
Makes you feel bright and jolly?
Yeah. And
sometimes.
But I have this thing where it spins me out now. As I got older, I got more sensitive to caffeine. And it will spin me out into, I'll be more susceptible to having higher levels of anxiety. And come to find out, not drinking coffee, I'm good to go with energy. Yeah, I don't need coffee anymore to like get the pep going. And that's great. I like that.
I need it. I'm tired after last night's movie date night.
That was a sweet movie.
Yeah.
It was a documentary.
We saw Free Solo at the IMAX.
Yeah, it was, I hope it wins Best Oscar, although I haven't seen the other documentaries up for Best Documentary Oscar.
Oh, I just put them all in my app for us to watch, which we can talk about later.
This is the year. Yeah. This is the year that we watch all the...
We say every year, but there's 33, by the way.
I'll do it.
But they include short stories. Well, let's talk about that later.
Yeah, okay.
But hands down, best part of the movie last night is when he climbed that rock face called Moonlight Buttress. And you and I looked at each other and we locked eyes, and you got a big smile on your face because you went through like a 2-3 month period of saying Buttress for everything. And I've never heard anyone use that word for anything ever. And I was like, what?
I just added a rest at the end of butt. And I would just like, hey, how's your buttress doing today? And it was totally random things. And then when...
It was something to do with taking the garbage out, too, remember?
I don't know. But I was saying buttress a lot. You're right.
And someone would say something, and you'd say, blah, blah, blah. More like blah, 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 buttress. It's like, no.
Is that more
How
like...
old are you?
More like... Somebody would say like, wow, this coffee is really hot. And I'd be like, more like your buttress is hot. Something stupid like that. And I would just say buttress all the time, left and right, for a while, and then I stopped. And come to find out, it's a
professional word.
It's a professional word that humans say on the regular. Well, maybe not on the regular.
It's gonna be regular now. And also, Moonlight Buttress, great name for a band.
It's the best name for a band, I think. So buttress means a projecting support of stone or brick built against a wall.
Oh shit!
So it means something in the naming of that mountain or cliffside or whatever the hell it was.
You want to roll the thing?
Welcome to Should We Get Married with Kiley and Kyle.
Wow. What's our topic today?
Well, we're talking about money stuff, right?
Money stuff. That sounds way cooler than finances, which is what I have written down.
Fuck that word, man. Fuck finances.
Yeah.
Because like,
money stuff is cool.
I want to be cool with it.
Yeah.
Money stuff is just something like when I'm doing a bid for a client, that's how I talk to them, which is really unprofessional. But I'm just like, hey, let's get the money stuff out of the way. Let's talk about the money stuff.
That's all right. I think in your line of work.
Well, I'm the talent. I'm the creator, so I can kind of get away with having long hair and a beard and looking a little cooler than the rest of the people.
Looking hot. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But money stuff, honey.
Okay.
This has never really been
an issue,
a point of contention for us in our relationship.
No, that's because we fully agree on what should be separate and what shouldn't, I think.
Yeah. However, I did buy this house without your consent.
Yeah, you did. I wish it was more of a Jim and Pam situation where Jim bought the house for Pam.
It was the opposite of that.
And it wasn't a great house, but she at the end was like, you bought a house for me. I love it.
Yeah, but season 9, she threw it back in his face.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not to season 9 yet this round, so I can't talk about it.
But we have seen season 9, and we do know about season 9.
But this situation was us living in an apartment and you wanting to go buy a house.
Yep.
And kind of a weird dynamic for us where you kind of felt like you needed to do that on your own. And I didn't feel included, but I allowed you to do that. I gave you lots of arm space.
Yeah.
And you ended up finding this house.
Yep.
And you brought me to see it, I think before you bought it.
Yeah. I wanted you to give it its blessing.
Yeah, but I did. And I was like, oh.
You didn't the house was pretty shaggy.
Well, the inside it wasn't upkept, but you could kind of see the potential behind it if you put work into it.
Yeah.
And then the people's stuff that were in here, they had such bad taste.
They were duds,
and they
man.
had a bunch of birds in here.
They were really nice, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yes, super nice.
But total duds when it came to taste. Just want to be real.
Yeah. So I was like, this is the house you want? I mean, we talked through it, and eventually I was like, I was down and I was along for the ride, and we got on here and we painted every inch of the house and had to clean every inch of the house because they didn't clean it, and had to clear the basement out and the garage out. Like, it was kind of crazy, but the house is really in great shape now and it's really cute and I love it. We love it.
Yeah, I saw the potential, and we have a nice little space, fenced-in yard for the dog, detached garage, and it's in this really cool part of Everett. And also, we don't have to we don't have to do the renting thing anymore, which is nice. However, renting in it of itself is really great because the responsibilities are kind of nil, where if you're a homeowner, there's a whole nother list of responsibilities. But it's kind of like after the first year or two living in a home, being a homeowner, it kind of just feels fine. You get used to everything, right?
Yeah.
Or am
it's
I
way
alone?
better.
Yeah.
It's like the best, actually.
Yeah.
But back to that whole process, we did have a lot of conversations because this is under your name. I'm not building any equity. Mm-hmm. And we don't know how long we're going to live here, but we talk about not living here for long. And we talk about wanting to keep it and rent it out. So we do talk about that stuff, and it's been a sore subject.
As far as
from time to time
finances stuff goes, that is probably the toughest one.
Yeah.
Because you're right, you're not building any equity, and this is my house, quote unquote. But it's our house, and I'll probably write you into the ownership. Or we've talked about how when we sell it, it'll all that. If we sell it and we don't keep it for a rental property, we will put that chunk into the next house together.
Yeah.
And we'll both be on the names for that. So, but I made a rash decision. Honestly, we weren't great, and I didn't know if we were going to be together, if it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And we weren't really working on the relationship, and that apartment really sucked.
You had a lot of your own stuff going on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And it just all snowballed into that apartment we lived in too during that time, that 1 year.
Right. And so I made a decision. I didn't want to rent anymore. It was before the housing market was going up. I bought it right at the right time because I wouldn't be able to afford this house now. Or, no, I might be able to, but it would be a stretch.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If we could go back to that time, would you change it or would you do the same?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
It's a good question, right?
Well, you weren't ready. I was in the mindset. So maybe if I had brought it up to you earlier and we got on the track.
We actually talked about buying a house together. And I think we both agreed we weren't at that place yet because that's.
Yeah. I'd probably do it the same. I'd probably do it the same because that with every point of contention, with everything that we've worked through that was really hard, led to a better and stronger relationship in the end. I mean, we're better for it, even though I made a pretty selfish decision, but also that sucks for you, but it was healthy for me at the same time.
Yeah.
But it was wrong of me to not take your feelings into full consideration and to talk through it completely at the time. I just kind of went out and did it.
Well, there was more to that. Let's give yourself some credit.
Yeah.
But I think that if perhaps it were two other people, they would have handled it differently, and it could have been something that broke people up, maybe. Because
well, it almost broke us up, so yeah.
I mean, yeah, because you were out looking at houses and we would have conversations of like, you're planning to go live in Everett and buy this house. Are we going to live there together? Like, it just felt really weird for a while. And
it was weird. And I didn't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
We were there. We were at that point.
It was that like the 2-year mark, which I think is a really popular place for people to analyze whether they should move forward or not. And that was it. It was like the turning point or the stop point.
It was one of them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one of them. My God, times have changed a lot.
Yeah. But like money stuff, finances, we just kind of split everything. Everything's separate. And also, if we were to ever get married, I would want things to be separate still. Mm-hmm. I would want, because I just think that this dynamic works so well.
Yeah, we have our own finances and our own bank accounts, and then we have a joint account where we each put the set amount in every single month. And from that, our mortgage comes out, our utilities come out, all of the important stuff comes out of there.
Right.
That is perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. I wouldn't change it.
I definitely see some positives by
Separate credit cards. Sorry.
By putting everything into one account though. But and also I wouldn't mind asking permission, so to speak, or asking if it's a good idea to buy something that I want. You know, if it's like a video game or a record or something like that, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But if I wanted to buy a new guitar or a new camera or something like that, where it's like a couple $1,000 or more, then I don't have to ask permission. But it's more like bouncing the idea off of you.
You mean if we had a joint, if everything was in one pot?
Yeah, it wouldn't be like.
That would feel weird to me.
It wouldn't be like, oh, do I need permission from you. It would be more like I might be making a better decision because I'm bouncing the idea off of you. Mm-hmm. And you would have your say in it because our finances are together at that point.
Yeah.
Or now I do ask you. Sometimes I'll say like, hey, there's this camera, there's this lens or whatever, or there's this piece of podcasting equipment, to be totally topical, that I really want. And it's this much money. What do you think? And we talk through it. So that I like that. I think that's really healthy.
Yeah.
But now the way it is, I have the say.
You have freedom.
At the end of the day, I can just buy the thing.
It's your money. You make the money. You decide how to spend it.
Right.
I suppose at some point down the road, we may need to start to take each other into consideration with our purchases, because I don't think about that really much at all when I make a purchase now.
Yeah.
But I guess when we have maybe a bigger house with a bigger mortgage and we're saving up for certain things, we'll consider trying not to spend money because we're saving for that. But I do want to know the different scenarios that people have, because, you know, obviously some people, like one person works and the other maybe is staying home taking care of the kids. That's a whole situation where you're all spending money that comes from one source. And I just wonder what the feelings are like that come from that, and if people talk through it, or if it is how it is, sort of thing. Because I could see if our stuff was joint, and this is without kids, by the way, and you wanted to spend $1,000 on a guitar, I feel like just deep down, I would almost feel like, feeling like it would need to be evened out and I should get to buy something.
Yeah,
just
totally.
As a instinctive human feeling.
That's if we have kids?
No, I mean, this is without kids.
Okay, right. And we were living off of one income?
Right.
Yeah,
and like
for
say
sure.
Say I bring home more money than you, and you are going to splurge, and you're going to splurge on $1,000 thing.
You're the breadwinner right now, by the way.
I think we're even.
Listen, I just did my taxes for last year, and you are the breadwinner. You make more money than me, which I love. I wish you made a lot more money.
Well, it's coming.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, on paper, I am the breadwinner, but you have a lot of other things that you hustle and make money, and you have your own business and your side stuff that just adds up over the year to...
I pay a lot more taxes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You do.
So,
and I remember that. I've been there.
On paper, yeah, but I do pull in more like revenue, but at the end of the year, I make less than you.
So how was that an issue for you when we started dating?
What?
Or halfway through us dating, when I am much younger but make more money than you?
No, that's never been... Often males, for whatever reason, I understand them, find that emasculating, but I don't. I think it's great. I've always... through my past, I've always just been late to the game on things. Career-wise, money-wise, just kind of wrapping my head around mature ideas, healthy ideas. I've always just been late to the game. So you went the traditional route, which is high school, college, career. And I went the drop out of high school, jail, and rehab, and figure things out for 10 years, and then career.
It's either one or the other, you know?
It's one or the other. There's only two ways to live life. And then so I've always loved it that you had your wheels on the rails. I've always liked it. And yes, I'm a big proponent of you looking outside of the box, because that's the only point of view I have. But you have, and by inside, outside the box, I don't mean that as a negative way. I just for perspective wise. You mean like me doing a hobby or something artistic or creative outside of my career, which is not that much. But not only that, but communicating through your existing career and finding ways to break through walls that everybody sees as impenetrable. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that I see, because I've came up in the way of having to navigate things differently than a lot of people. Yeah. But you have the strong foundation that I really look up to. I've always wanted that in a partner, somebody who was stable, both financially and also with your demeanor and your within the work construct and the way you use your diction and you speak to others within the professional environment. I really like that. And I think like that's a huge strength. So the answer is no. It's never felt weird. I've always loved it, and I've always been a big supporter of you continuing on that path. But also,
well, I'll agree. You've always been very supportive.
Yeah, and I do encourage you to see different ways. Because I'm, as an artist, I see things differently than you do, but I know that you're an artist because you have the talent, and you have the ability, and you have the eye and the taste for it, and you just default to staying on the tracks, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I am the opposite.
Well, this comes up a lot because you do see that and it's important to you. And it always kind of comes back to an excuse of like, I'm exhausted because my brain power and my energy is all going into, a 9-to-5 workspace.
Mm-hmm.
And then still kind of thinking about that when I get home and on the weekends and traveling for work and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know if I was going to make a point there.
Well, anyways, I'm just happy you make a good living and you continue to work your way up.
Oh, that's what I was going to say is I can either put out extra energy to do things outside of my job, or I can really put in energy into my job where there's a lot more to learn and a lot more space to grow and money to be made, honestly. So
yeah, and I'm a big fan of showing up early and staying late. And doing...
Well, I don't do that very much. Sorry if you're listening, Jessica.
No, you do that. You are constantly thinking about your company and how well it's going to perform and what it can do differently and how it can improve. Every time, we're always talking about it outside of work, and in my opinion, that is billable work. And every time we're at the store, you check out the SKUs, you check out the products that are on the rack, and you're going, oh, we could be here. Our products are coming in. That'll be exciting. We're always talking about it because I'm a huge fan of your company. Mm-hmm. And I love that kind of stuff. So I think you do, quote unquote, show up early and stay late. And that's commendable because you're passionate. You care about your job. And I really relate with that.
Well, thanks, babe. That's true. And thank you for saying that. It's hard to see it that way for me if I'm not in the office, I guess.
Well, you're in the eye of the tornado.
Yeah.
So
but I come home and you're working till like bedtime.
Yeah, I'm always working.
And so to me, I feel like it's sort of like the movie we saw last night, Free Solo. He's kind of working around the clock. And it's not a desk job, but he's working.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing. You're hustling and you're working on all sorts of different projects. And sometimes you'll work like 12 to 14 hours a day. And I'm like, man, could I be doing more? It's very, I look up to that.
Thank you. I love working all the time.
But then you'll take a day off for yourself and recharge. And I think that makes a huge difference. And you're able to put in those hard days.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go 9 to 5.
Yeah, 100%. I think taking that time to recharge is super important. And also, usually when I'm recharging, I'm doing something that will add back into the work. So
right.
Writing or watching something that will benefit me when I come back to the thing. But also I should, I do that, but I also should just do nothing that has to do with work, because as a creative, we just need time to fuck around and to enjoy the circle of inspiration and and just have time to rest the mind and to let it relax and then become inspired again. And that thing's really hard. The creative process is really hard for people who clock in, clock out to understand. but it is real. It is the real deal. We need time to soak things in and have an explosion of work and ideas come through that.
Yeah.
It's important. It's just, it is what it is. But I think that my personal philosophy is working myself back into work. So relaxing gets me so far, but working gets me everything. So even if don't have any inspiration, just sitting down and working and having that discipline is really beneficial for me.
I want to get back to finances, but you said a should in there, and some of my friends like to say, don't should on yourself too much.
Yeah.
And I try to remember that because we're all going to say, I should be doing this. I should do this.
Did I should on you?
No, you should on yourself.
Oh, okay. What was it though? What did I say?
You said
I should just relax and not do anything.
Which is actually giving yourself space. So that's a good should.
That's a good should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if anyone hasn't heard that before, stop shitting on yourself. Like, you're probably doing a good job. You're doing enough, and spin it positively.
Oh man, I'm way too hard on myself.
You're way too hard on yourself. But finances.
Yes, finances. Back to finances. Yeah.
Okay, so when we, you and I don't know if it's how we're raised or but when we go out, say we have a date or we go to dinner or something.
Yeah.
And the check comes.
Okay.
What's going through your mind?
Oh, I don't even think about it.
You don't even think about it.
No, I'm like, oh, well, I could pay. She could pay. It's no big deal. Either way is good.
What about when we go to Costco and it's $300 thing? What's going through your mind?
Well, we usually split it.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, like, leading up to the cash register, are you thinking about?
No.
You're not.
No.
See, I do.
Okay.
And I maybe that's got to come from somewhere else, like the way we were raised or some sort of controlling viewpoint, I think, because it's always present for me, even though it really doesn't matter and it's all going to even out in the end, which is your philosophy that you've taught me. And I really try to get on board with that whole even out balance stuff.
Yeah, that works when you have, me and you are responsible with our money.
Yeah.
More or less. More or less.
Right.
I'll speak for myself. I'm not the king of finances. I suck in many ways. I'm awful at it in many ways, and I'm pretty decent in many ways. So I think I'm like average, maybe a little above average. But I think you're above average, and that the even out philosophy works in that dynamic. Has so far. We've been together for 5 years. We kind of take care of each other when one of us is paying for more things than the other. We acknowledge it. We talk about it. And then the other one's like, oh yeah, no big deal. I'll get this one. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a grocery bill or we went out to eat or movie tickets or whatever. And so, but a lot of people get fussy when they can't pay for the check. Like
my dad.
Well, yeah.
Not fussy, just you have to know how to do magic in order to pay for the bill when you're out with my dad.
Oh, you got to be a ninja, and I haven't figured it out, but
Robbie figured it out that one dinner.
He figured it out. And well, I will accept when you want to pay for something, no big deal.
Oh yeah,
that's no big deal. I don't care.
That goes both ways.
And then when I pay for something, it's no big deal for you either. And I think that's really cool. And then we'll say, do you want to split it? And it's always a yes, sure, we'll split it. And then typically I'll be like, you'll say, hey, let's split this one. And I'll say, well, I got more than you did. And then you're like, no big deal. And so it's loose. We're not tight on it.
We're not. But how about like a married couple?
Okay.
And say you know what? I'm gonna switch up the societal norms here and say the mom, the female is a hardworking badass bitch.
Okay.
She brings home
the bacon.
Yeah. Dad stays at home with the kids. He's got a little side project, you know. Yep. He sells candles out of his house. or
Awesome.
socks.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like a cool dude. Socks and candles.
His job is to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
But he's got a little money. He's got like his own little bank account with his own little money there.
Sure.
Just for if he wants to splurge.
Okay.
Say they're going out all the time, going to movies, going to dinner, going to Costco.
Mm-hmm.
And that money probably comes from the female's income, right?
Yeah.
The check goes to her. She's used to paying it. That's just how it is.
Okay.
But when a splurgy splurge wants to happen for the guy,
Yeah.
he can use his little pot of money.
Okay.
But does the female have access to that little pot of money? Probably not.
I don't know.
It interests me because I've seen that happen.
What do you think? How do you think that should play out?
Well, if someone's going to be if there's going to be a single income in a family dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
and anyone else in the family wants to have a little side project and earn a little extra side money,
Okay.
shouldn't that go into the entire pot of money
Well, it
that
depends.
everyone's spending constantly?
It depends because it's relative to how much money you're making, and maybe it's just not a big deal because the main income is so much to where it's comfortable.
Yeah, that's a good
And then
point.
it's like, you don't worry about the finance charges, and it doesn't matter because it's like whatever. It's easy to pay. It's peanuts.
Well, yeah, and it comes down to is what did those two people in that relationship agree on?
Well, and also I will say this:
And how
being a stay-at-home and taking care of the kids is a lot of work, and in
It's
fact,
a full-time job, yeah.
and there's no income from that. They're not getting paid for that. So I think
And you're getting beat up all day long.
Yeah, you're
just
getting
mentally and physically.
right. And so I think in this particular scenario you've set out for us, I think he should be entitled to whatever he's making on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And encouraged to keep going because that's the high road and that's the most positive thing. And I think that would it wouldn't just be a monetary benefit to the family because he's going to spend some of that on the kids and for himself, but it will be a mental and a spiritual release of freedom and positivity into the whole family dynamic.
Oh, that's a great.
And you can't put money on that.
Good point, honey. I like the way you worded that. That's a good positive outcome.
Yeah, and I think that is a really healthy way to live our life because as a couple or if we were to ever have a family, I think the high road and taking what I think should be the right way and just having happy and positivity be the way it goes, because I'd rather be happy than right in the long of it. In the short of it, I want to be right. You know what I mean? Like I need to be right when I'm arguing with you. But
you don't act that way, really.
Yeah, in my head I do, for sure. I need to be right, and you need to know that I'm right.
Oh.
But I'd rather for us to come to I'd rather be happy. I'd rather you be happy, short of delusion. I don't want it to become just silly nonsense. I don't want to blow smoke up our asses. But
okay, you're right. Thank God you don't say that.
But well, you don't either.
Also, you're usually right.
Well, I like the sound of that. Where's that coming from?
I mean, okay.
And
well, let's save that for another time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A whole topic on how I'm mostly right?
Well,
I like this.
I'm going to bring something up later. It's not that you're always right, but you, we can both see outside each other's heads. And so when you bring something up to me, I haven't thought about it that way. And usually you can see it more clearly than I can because I'm just on a hamster wheel and right.
Well, it works from
and I
on
have
your,
to go, oh, okay. That's a good point. Thank
it works
you.
on your end too. Well, that's a perfect case of right and happy because you have an opportunity in this scenario. You have an opportunity to let go and be happy.
Yeah.
But you are technically right in your head because you're in it.
Because that's how I feel.
That's how you feel. Although feelings aren't facts.
Feelings aren't facts, but you it's okay to feel however you
Yes.
feeling.
And in my case, I'm showing you a different perspective in the scenario. You've definitely shown me different perspectives. And instead of me going, no, that's not cool, why would you ever bring that up, and taking it personally, which is always my knee-jerk reaction every time.
Well, I come from a family of taking it personally.
Yeah, so do I. And then, but eventually letting go and going with the happy route, which, I mean, is ultimately probably right.
Have you noticed we can't stay on our topic of finances?
Maybe let's talk about how we feel about our existing financial situations, and then let's move on to our next segment.
I'm feeling really good right now. I'm in a good place. It's the first time in my life I've had a nice chunk of money set aside.
You have some savings.
And I have a nice chunk of money coming in regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have and can have pretty much whatever I want, like within reason.
Yeah.
And so I'm to a point where back to my resolution, which is I need to spend money on experiences rather than material things.
Yes, right.
And if it's not experiences, I just need to keep adding to that saving spot. And I'm getting really excited about being able to buy a new house in the next few years with you.
Yeah, let's wait till the housing market just
All right.
plummets, and then let's buy a cheap one.
Okay. Yeah, a cheap, nicer one.
An underpriced one.
With a second bathroom.
I feel good about my finances. However, I'm freelance, so I do have a client that is adding a lot of security to that freelance side. So I'm really loving that. I feel really good about my finances, but I have goals that are I have other financial goals that I haven't met. So I'm not feeling totally comfortable with where I'm at now. I'm okay. I feel good. I can live really comfortable, but I have other goals that I want to attain. But for us, our money stuff, I feel really good about it, and I'd appreciate, and I'd like more gifts. Thank you very much. Just surprise.
Wait,
any day.
I bought you
anytime.
a gift yesterday and it's arriving today.
Okay, well that's one.
Okay. So do you think that we are so content with our finances as a couple because we're not thinking too far in the future and committing and married and all of that stuff? Like, do you think that would change something if we got married? Do you think we'd start to pay more attention to what each other are doing and talk about needing to plan and set aside? And I mean, I have 401k and stuff like that, but at what point, I mean, you're 36. At what point are you thinking of like way into the future?
I'm thinking about it all the time, and none of the time. I don't put a lot of thought into it, but I'm always thinking about it.
Yeah.
And really, I haven't. Like I said, I have goals that I need to start scraping more to save for retirement and things to do. And also, there's a part of me that wants to kind of live a retirement chunk before I am 70 years old. And I want to travel, do that kind of traveling.
Like the 4-hour work week says to do?
Yeah, or... figure out a way to make an income and travel and see things and do things that I would do while I was retired.
Before we're old.
Yeah, before I'm old. And the last thing I want to do is like turn 70, retire, and then just like watch TV all day. I want to have things set up to where I can do the things and create the things that I love to do. Do you feel that? Do you feel that chill?
Oh, it feels so good. I'm so hot right now.
Do you feel that extra little? Ooh, it's cold in here.
Uh-oh, what are you getting?
Do you feel that? Do you feel that chill coming on?
This is not our jingle.
It's cold in here. And somebody turn on the heat.
This is not our official jingle.
Because it's cold outside, but it's hot in your butt.
Okay, we're going to do Me Likey Me No Likey segment now.
You don't like that jingle?
It has nothing to do with Me Likey Me No Likey.
I think it's amazing.
Me Likey Me No Likey is an opportunity for us to share with each other something we love that the other one does and something we can't stand that the other does. And we encourage you to do that with someone in your life. You might find out something new that you like or don't like.
Yeah, and honey,
Or something you can change.
This week,
Is it serious?
man, this is the one. I've been talking about the one that's really gonna be
Oh, you said that last week.
a real humdinger,
And then it
real
was
sizzling
me
Dixie.
Doing snoozing on my alarm.
Listen, this is the week, so you go first. But I just, while you're saying your me likey, me no likey,
Excuse me.
just know that
Don't-
my no likey is a big one.
Is it big or is it embarrassing?
It's huge
Honey,
and very embarrassing. So
no.
prepare
Pause
yourself.
this. Pause this.
Okay, it's paused. Boop. It's paused.
Okay.
I paused it. Go ahead. What do you got to say?
This is not a platform to tell an embarrassing story about me. This is to tell something that I do reoccurring all the time.
Yeah.
That has to do with our relationship.
I got a whole list of it. Pages.
Okay.
All
Because
right.
you brought one up before that was just something that I did one time that was really embarrassing. And that's not... People from work are listening to this?
Here, let me unpause. Boop, boop.
Babe, you
It's
go first.
unpaused now.
Am I going first?
No, you go first.
Okay. All right. I'll start with no likey.
Okay.
Me no likey
Oh boy.
when you turn the shower on in the bathroom and then sit on the toilet for 20 to 30 minutes. Especially when I need to shower after that.
Okay. I did not see this coming.
Okay.
All right. Let me just I need to refocus, reset.
Let me elaborate while you do that.
Okay.
First of all, we have one bathroom in our house. Okay. And no matter what, when you go to the bathroom, which is probably 5 to 10 times a day, you sit there for 20 minutes on your phone. Okay. You're not even really probably going to the bathroom for 90% of the time you're in there.
Blowing mud.
Okay. Stop.
Is that too much?
Oh. But
Listen, you blow mud.
Hold on.
I blow mud. We all blow mud.
so we've learned over the past 5 years that I should go in there really quick and use the bathroom if I need to use the bathroom in the next half hour. But
Okay.
when you turn the water on in our only bathroom and sit there, there are times when I'll time you because I'm so annoyed. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you know how long you're sitting there. And sometimes it's 8 minutes that the shower is running of hot water and you're just sitting on your phone on the toilet. And then you take a 10 to 15 minute shower.
Listen,
And then I need to take a shower.
can I just say I am mortified and embarrassed
No,
right
you're
now.
not.
Yes, I am.
Are you? I'm sorry.
I was not expecting
I
this.
didn't think you'd care.
And
I think a lot of guys do this.
can I tell you why
Yeah.
I do it? It's because the bathroom doesn't get, it doesn't heat up like the rest of the house because it's an addition.
It doesn't heat up like your butt.
And so I let the shower warm up the bathroom. And also, I like to turn on the shower because the shower noise is louder than the fan noise. And I just don't want any worries while I'm doing it too.
Yeah, I know plenty of people that do it that way.
Okay.
But they don't have the shower on for that long
Okay, so
because they can just poop and shit and get off the pot, basically.
all right. So what days does this affect you? Is it the weekends?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And in the morning, if I haven't left for work yet and I need to like pop back in there to grab something or get hairspray or like whatever.
I'll work on that. I'll be more conscious and more aware of your needs. And I'm sorry. And now people
Oh,
know
it's okay.
I blow mud while
Well, I didn't say
shower's
that.
on.
You did.
I've been just enjoying the term blow mud.
Look, I'm used to you and your vocabulary, and I find you very funny. So if someone's listening that thinks it's childish or not funny, don't listen.
Okay. Calm down. All right, calm down. My buddy said blow mud to me one day. He's like, I got to go blow mud. And I was rolling on the floor after that. And from then on, I needed to say it. And this was recently. So it's a new term. It's going to be happening a lot. And just get ready for that. But
another friend of ours says that Domino's gives them blood farts.
That was me. I came up with blood farts. And it was Alfie's, man.
I thought it was Matt.
No, it was me. And it all culminated on a day where me and Matt and Brennan were hanging out. And we were eating Alfie's pizza.
You've never had it again.
I've never had it again, nor will I ever have it again, because the only term I can use to explain what I experienced afterwards is blood farts, and that's it. But let's get back on track.
Listening to this podcast.
this is really.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I should hit the pause button again.
No.
Okay. So I'll do it. I'll hit the pause button.
Me likey.
All right.
That you are willing to talk me through anything.
Oh.
Yeah. So there are times when I'm in a certain mood, or maybe I'm grumpy, or you can just tell that something's going on. And I think a lot of people would just give that person space or maybe brush it under the rug. But you make an effort to go, hey, what's going on here? You need to talk about this. Talk through it. And half of the time, I don't even know what's going on with me. I kind of need to figure it out first, or why I'm in a mood, or what really is bothering me, like the underlying reason. And you really help me. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You'll take 5, 10, 20 minutes or whatever it takes to remind me that I can't shut down and that I can talk to you about it. And then I'm usually able to kind of get to the bottom of what it is, and then we discuss it. And I appreciate that so much. I've never had anyone in my life do that before. Are you okay?
That means a lot, honey.
Oh,
Thank
really?
You. Yeah.
Well, it means a lot to me, because otherwise that stuff will just build up and build up over years.
Yeah.
Even if it's something tiny, like I'm frustrated from a hard day at work, you'll get to the bottom of, why is that so frustrating for you today when you deal with it all the time? What really is it? And we sit in the kitchen, and we sit on the counters, and we make food or whatever it is, and we kind of work through it. And there are times when there has been times when I don't like it, when I just kind of retreat and I'll read a book or something, and you'd be like, hey, no. What is it? What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know what to say, and I don't want to talk about it, but you'll still kind of help me push through.
Well, it goes back to working yourself back into work. One has to act their way into a new way of thinking.
Yeah.
So in order to get there, even if you don't know what it is, just talking about the things that are happening in your brain, even though they may seem dumb or random or whatever, just getting the flow going and knocking that dam down that's holding in all the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the most important. But I will say that I'm really tactful, because I know when it's appropriate to allow space and to give space.
That's
as
true.
well.
You do. Yeah.
Because in order for me, so this comes from my experience, I wouldn't be able to be sober today. I wouldn't be able to have money in the bank today, or a job, or people who even like me today if I didn't work on this stuff. And the only way I know how to do it, because I can be a lot. I'm intense, and I'm sensitive, and left to my own devices, I can resort to really old and bad behaviors. I have to continue this process of talk therapy and just putting things out on Front Street, and just like digging deep and getting to things, even if it's small. Like, I'm always coming home to you and saying, like, okay, this I feel fucked up and I need to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And so I just talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. And you're really good about not being annoyed by that. And because it can be really annoying. It can be a lot to just work through issues. It can be really hard and tough because it can take hours of the day where you'd rather be doing something else.
Yeah. And through all of that, though,
Yeah.
it's taught me to be able to understand when I need to say, I need your help, to ask for help. And you have to remind me that, hey, you need to ask me for help or tell me that you need me, which I've never done in my life to anybody.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
to say, I need to talk to someone else about this. Or we've talked this to death and there's a bigger thing going on here. Maybe you call a friend or maybe talk to your therapist.
Yes, because there's a time, I mean, we're really close and I can only talk you through so much and you can only talk me through so much because we're so close, and we might take our opinions at less value because we're so close to each other. And we can because we're in the eye of the storm and we can be at each other's throats, and all of that wraps up into something that an outside perspective would have more value when you need to figure something out, because we can just be too close. So, and yeah, back to the help thing, I need help because I constantly need to remember that I am not the king. I am not, I don't have control over things. So I need help. And that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Most of this stuff ends up being on the smaller scale, and like the big stuff, like I need to work through, why I was so stricken when my cat died, or when, how to work through not having a relationship with my mom anymore. That stuff is ongoing life stuff that I needed to talk to other people, to friends, to family, to my therapist, and then of course with you on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But really a lot of this stuff is like, hey, why are you in such a bad mood? Let's talk about it. But anyway, that is like the joy of our relationship to me. And you spearhead that all the time better than I do. And I love it.
Thank you, honey. That was a really good one. I don't know how I can go into this Me No Likey after that. Can I just skip my Me No Likey?
We got to keep this light and then heavy and then light again. So go for it. But hey, don't embarrass me here.
Oh man, this is going to be very embarrassing.
No.
You can't whisper something off mic.
If it has anything to do with bodily stuff at this point, it's too much.
You just told everybody about how I do dumps before the shower.
I didn't say a word about dumps. I said you turn on the shower and then you go to the bathroom.
They put it together though. They put it together.
You said blow mud. And that helped them put it together.
It's true, I did. But also they already knew.
I'm so serious. I'll cut something out of this podcast when we edit it.
Here let me just hit the pause button really quick. Boop. Okay. So you're looking at me right now and you're saying like don't go there, but this is what this podcast is about, honey.
It's about pooping all the time. Is that what this podcast is about?
No, you don't even know that I'm going to say something about poop.
I can see it in your eyes.
Let me just do my thing.
I trust you. Right.
And you got to be prepared because
I'm ready to laugh at myself.
This is going to be hardcore.
Okay.
Very embarrassing.
Okay.
All right.
Unpause it.
Boop.
We're back.
Okay. Unpaused. Here we go. Me no likey. You pick your boogers. A lot, all the time, and you're 30 years old.
Okay. Point taken. Let's move on to me likey.
No. We need to talk about this booger stuff, man.
Oh my God.
You're always picking your boogers, rolling them up.
Okay, no, I do not.
And just kind of like flicking them wherever.
Oh my God.
Who knows? I mean, if somebody turned on a black light around here.
Do boogers show up in black light?
I don't think so, but what's going on there? How come it's your knee-jerk reaction, like whenever you're nervous or whatever, you go for a nose pick?
That is not. If that were true, I'd be just like digging around in meetings at work all day.
I wonder if you do that. I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
If somebody in the office,
no,
if like the scuttlebutt around the workplace is like, man, have you seen Kiley is the booger picker.
I cannot believe you're bringing this up.
Hey, it's a me no likey.
I spend my most of my time with you sitting on the couch, and like,
You just did it.
I'm showing you that I have like a long pointy nose, and I'm just checking or like making sure there's no crusties there. Mm-mm. And sue me if I need to clear the way from time to time. But you're acting like, don't look at me like that. If something really goes down, I'll get up and wash my hands or like grab a tissue or something.
Okay.
But why don't you ever have something in your nose? That's the question.
Well, you're not acknowledging this bad habit right now.
It's not a habit.
The one thing you need to know is that everybody has crusties and boogies hanging out in their nose. They just don't pick it out all the time.
Oh, you think people don't pick it out?
No. All the time. I definitely pick my nose.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
do.
caught you.
Yeah, you've seen me. But it's
you have a
not
tiny
all
little
the time.
cute button nose. I don't think there's much room for stuff in there.
Your nose is incredible. It's not as long or as big as you just said.
It's beaky.
It's wonderful.
But it's great.
Okay, our noses are made to collect stuff.
But I also have to blow my nose every morning and before bed.
So do I.
Do you?
Before bed?
Yeah.
No. I mean, no, but in the shower I take care of, I like blow it out and make sure everything's good.
You do snot rocket. I can't do that.
Well,
maybe
when
that
you're in a
takes
hot
care of
shower.
it. But you go in the shower.
Yeah, because you're in the shower.
I don't think I could get something out in that way. But
okay. All right.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
Here's what I want you to say.
I won't do that around you anymore.
I want you to say I'm going to stop picking my nose. Forever and ever. This is the day. All right, lots to unpack there. Let's get into it in a different episode. But here's my me likey.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Please.
Okay. This is not as good as your me likey.
That's
I will
fine.
say that. But I love your sense of humor. I think you have one of the best senses of humor that I've ever been with in my whole life.
Whoa.
I think like your ability to joke and laugh at basically anything is such a benefit to our relationship and to me as a person, and to realize I don't have to take myself too seriously and you don't take yourself too seriously, and you know, lots of people know when stupid things are funny, like basic things. And you know when funny things are funny. And I like that about you. You know what's actually funny. You're a fan of stand-up comedy, which I am. And you just know what's funny and good. And you like dark humor. Everything from potty humor to dark humor to smart, sophisticated humor, whatever that might be. But I love that about you.
That's cool. I love that. You said that.
And we can both just kind of riff and joke for hours. For weeks,
Yeah.
really. Hang on the same joke and laugh at it and stuff like that. And it's really fun.
Well, that's part of the reason that we are able to be best friends, is we do have the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
And then we have groups of friends with the same sense of humor. And that honestly is the thing
best.
that makes me the most happy and the most comfortable.
Yes.
Because there are people who aren't on that same level, like at work or wherever. And if I don't laugh at their joke or something, it's because it's not funny to me. I'll say to me, or like dad jokes or someone that thinks they're funny is to me the worst thing to have to deal with. And your friendship stops at it hits a wall for me. I can't get too close to you or buddy if you don't get it.
Yeah, there's that level of getting it is, and that you are, there and beyond.
Well, thanks, honey.
Yeah, thank you.
We're just scratching each other's backs here on this podcast.
Well, it's like it's really good to do. It's so good to acknowledge each other's strengths and to laugh at our weaknesses. It's been so fun to do this me likey, me no likey thing because it kind of takes the wind out of the seriousness of it, even though some of it is really serious. Yeah. And embarrassing.
Definitely. Goddamn.
But this, I don't think we should go into a second topic. I
agree. That's
I think
pretty
we
long.
should wrap it up.
Okay. So what are we going to talk about on the next episode?
Let's talk about having kids.
On episode 5?
Episode 5. Are we going to do it?
Okay. So really the topic is going to be being child-free.
Yeah. I want to talk about that because you know my stance, but I do. There is an open window. There is an open door within my heart.
Yeah.
Of having kids.
We'll save it for the P.
We'll save it for the P.
The podcast.
Is that what it means, podcast?
Yeah.
So I'm going to save it for the P. So on the next episode of Should We Get Married, we're going to talk about being child-free and what that is and what it looks like and everything around it. And what are we missing out on?
Yeah. Hey, I really love it when people ask us questions on a website. If you want to ask anything, just go to shouldwegetmarriedpod.com and there's a little box at the bottom and we'll answer your questions on the podcast.
Yeah, it's totally anonymous. Also, we have a voicemail number.
Less anonymous if we know your voice.
You can say your name or whoever's name you want.
You can disguise your voice.
You can disguise your voice, but that number is 509-761-9105. Give us a call. Leave a message.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.